What's going on YouTube? My name is Caitlin and I am back with another video today. If you guys have been checking out my channel, first of all, thank you so much. Second of all, it seems like you guys are kind of digging my sneaker content. I've gotten some messages from people that want to see more of the shoes that are in my collection. So we're back with another sneaker video. Today we're breaking down my top 6 sneaker steals. The shoes I got on the cheap and I am super proud of. So the first shoe we're going to be kicking today off with is the classic Adidas Ultra Boost right here. Managed to pick these guys up for $25 off of Facebook Marketplace, and when I got them, let me tell you, they were brand new. The person had literally never worn them, there were no marks on them, they were in perfect store-bought condition. Now, if you watched my last video, you would know that I'm not a huge Adidas sneaker kind of person. I more lean towards the Nikes, but as someone with bigger feet, a lot of the Nikes just don't work for me and they're pretty uncomfortable. So I needed a comfortable pair of shoes that I could rock on the daily. I was hanging out with some of my sneakerhead friends and they mentioned how comfortable the Ultra Boosts are. It's like walking on a cloud. You could walk for miles, you could run in them, go to the gym in them, just wear them as an everyday pair. And I was like, dang, I need to get some. I went online, looked them up. They were a little bit too expensive for a broke college student. Next day I hopped on Facebook and someone was selling those for $25 in my size, perfect condition, so I had to cop. And I must say, the Ultra Boosts are some of the comfiest shoes I have ever worn. It is literally like walking on a cloud. The extra foam protection at the bottom just absorbs everything as you walk or run. I've been wearing these to the gym. They became my everyday shoes at college last year. Just such a great shoe. They look nice on your feet, ultra comfortable. You can walk for miles in them. Not much I can say negative about these shoes. They're awesome, and to score them for only 25 bucks was a huge win. Moving on to the number 2 steal on my sneaker list is the Air Jordan 4 Alternative 89. I managed to score these at a thrift store down in Virginia. When I first saw them, I had no idea what they were. I had looked in the women's shoe section and things were a little bit lacking, so I went over to the men's section, and just the fact that these were Jordans caught my eye immediately. Didn't know what size they were. Saw that the price tag was only $20, and I was like, I need to have those. Literally did not know what size they were. They did actually turn out to be my size in men's. Well, I mean, they're like half a size too big, but we won't criticize that. So they fit perfectly on my feet. Managed to get an additional 20% off that $20. So I managed to score these for under 20 bucks, which is insane because I just checked the retail value and they're over $200, $300 depending on your size and colorway right now on Fight Club and StockX. So picking these up for less than $20 was a huge deal. I didn't know much about them, but turns out they are a pretty nice shoe. Now, obviously, looking at them, you can tell that they are pretty beat up. Unfortunately, because I didn't know much about the shoe when I bought it, and I got it for so cheap, I just decided to wear it as a pair of everyday shoes here in Canada. So they've faced a lot of snow and sleet and nasty weather, so they're a little bit rough on the edges. Looking at the value now, I kind of regret that decision, but hey, they're Jordans. Picked them up for super cheap, and I love wearing them. They're just so comfortable, they're easy, throw them on when you're running errands, bad weather, no worries. Moving on to the number 3 steal on my list today. Now, most people may not classify this as a steal, but I do just based on the price point. I got the SF Air Force Ones right here. Just a great looking shoe. When you wear them on your feet, they look fantastic with what you're wearing. You look more badass. They're just a great shoe. When they first came out, I was hanging out in Georgia on spring break with some friends. We hopped across these shoes. We were like, dang, those are fresh. We could really rock them. Unfortunately, the price point was a little bit high for us. It was up over $250 when they first came out, so we had to pass. But fast forward to Christmas of that year, we have a holiday called Boxing Day here in Canada where stores have massive deals. So I managed to run over to the Nike outlet store and they had these shoes on for $50. So I got a pair of $250 retail shoes for literally $50. Thank God for Boxing Day. Moving on to the number 4 steal on our list is the Air Max 1 Have a Nike Day. Man, if you've watched my video, you would know that I am absolutely in love with this shoe. When it first came out, I wasn't really too hype on it, and the price point was a little bit too high, so I kind of just overlooked it, but saw some more photos on Instagram recently, saw people doing some cool things with the different colorways, and I was like, that's a classic. It's retro. It's got those kind of 90 vibes, the pastels. It's gonna look fresh in the summer. I need to cop those. So I hopped on StockX and I managed to pick these bad boys up for $66 American, which was a huge steal because I believe they retailed for over $200, which was definitely not a price point I was comfortable with. So when I saw these for $66 American, I knew I had to cop them. I'm so glad I decided to pick up the Have a Nike Days. They're just such a great shoe. I love that slogan, and they just look classic on your feet. They've become not an everyday pair, but a more staple in my current rotation of what I'm rocking, because I just love them. They're a head turner. People look at them, people immediately want to go cop them because they just look dope. So 66 bucks on StockX, that was a wise decision. The number 5 shoe on our steal list is the first personal grail pair that I was able to pick up for an affordable price point. So I was absolutely stoked with. I literally put on my Instagram, now that I have these, I can die happy. These are my all-time favorite shoe. I will probably keep these forever, even when I'm not rocking them anymore or they've been beat into the ground, because they were my first ever grail that I was able to cop, and that's the Win-like Jordan 96s in the red. Obviously, if you've been watching this channel for a little while, you know that I am partial to red sneakers. So as soon as these dropped, I knew I had to get these because they're red and they're shiny and they're awesome and they are so comfy. Now remember, I went to the Jordan store here in Toronto and I had been given $150 to go get a pair of Jordans, which I was super stoked about, and I walked in the store not expecting to see these. When I saw them, I was like, oh my goodness, I need them. Unfortunately, they were going for about $220 in the Jordan store, and I only had a budget of $150, so I couldn't make it work. I was pretty bummed about it. Got another pair of Jordan 12s. But I was bummed about missing out on the Win-like 96s because they're beautiful. I know they sold out super quick when they dropped. Just an iconic shoe in the Jordan era, so I was super bummed about that. So I started surfing around the internet. StockX and a lot of other places were a little bit too high for my comfort zone on price, so I started looking at eBay. I entered 3 or 4 different auctions, kept getting outbid at the last minute because I had some great deals on them. Finally, I got an auction, and that I won for only $60. So I was able to pick up the Win-like 96 Jordan 11s for $60. Yes, you heard me right, $60. My personal grail was now in my possession. I won that auction. They came in just before my birthday 2 years ago. Best birthday present ever. Super stoked to have them. Will rock those shoes until the day I am no longer on this earth. Hands down, my favorite shoe. And the final shoe rounding out our steal list is the Jordan 1.5, the return with the classic Chicago colorway. Now, when I first caught these, I did actually not know much about the shoe. I just thought they were the regular old Jordan 1, the returns, but they're actually the 1.5s, which is still pretty dope because I was able to pick these up on eBay for like 80 bucks. I mean, this is literally almost a twin to the iconic Jordan 1, which is what I thought they were when I was buying them, but that's okay because they're still a beautiful shoe. And they have, hands down, become one of my favorite shoes in my collection. I wear them sparingly, try to keep them in good condition. They were a little bit used when I got them, so as you can tell, the shoes are a little bit creased, but I believe in wearing my shoes. When you get them, you don't just stock them, and they're just a beautiful, iconic shoe. Believe it or not, this was a retro redesign of a very rare shoe that Jordan only wore a couple times in his rookie season. So for Jordan to redesign it, pretty dope, and I'm super glad that I was able to pick these up for only 80 bucks because there's some resale values right now going online for upwards of 300. So an absolute steal, one of the grails in my collection. So if you're looking to find some rare gems on a budget, get some of those steals, be encouraged that you can find some really nice shoes out there. Anything from classic shoes that you're going to wear every day into the gym to a little bit of higher grail status shoes. If you search around, there's some good deals. So here's what I would suggest. First of all, hit up those thrift stores. I know thrifting is super trendy right now, and there's a lot of people doing it, but just go into different stores when you get the opportunity, see what sneakers you got laying around. I've picked up several there, including the OG Spike Lee Jordans, so you can get some really solid kicks. Even if you just want a pair of Converse or a pair to wear to the gym, thrift stores are a gold mine for those. My second tip is to check around eBay, browse those auctions, even look for things that aren't labeled correctly. I find that some people who stumbled across some sneakers maybe don't know exactly what they got, so they don't have the right name or the right size in there. So just always be scooping around eBay for the sneakers, because you can get some pretty nice sneakers on the cheap. Now be careful when you're looking for some really expensive Holy Grail pairs. There are a lot of knockoffs on eBay. I did pick up a pair of off-white Converse knockoffs. At least I'm pretty sure they were knockoffs. They were pretty close. They were very nicely done, but I managed to pick those up for under $200. So if you want to wear a pair of knockoffs of super expensive, check eBay, but definitely be browsing the eBay auctions. See if you can swoop in at the last minute and get a good deal. Two of my favorite pair of sneakers did happen to come from you. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your busy quarantine schedule to check in and see my sneaker steals. What are your sneaker steals? I want to know. Drop them down in the description below. Let me know your golden pickups on the cheap, because you know we all on a budget around here in quarantine. So yeah, I want to know what you got. Thank you guys so much for checking out today's video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.